So good to have you with us for episode number 7 of Inside the Stars. Two special guests joining us today, Syerra Mitchell and Paisley, who will be up and about, and she is the most adorable dog I've seen in a while. So great to have you both with us.
Yes, thank you.
Syerra, let's start with you. We might get to Paisley in a little bit, actually. Let's start with you. Second year here at Stevens. You're a defensive specialist in the volleyball team, but you're from Las Vegas. Let's talk about that transition for you last year when you first came into the Stars, kind of like moving from Vegas to a smaller town in Colombia.
Yeah, it was a big change. You know, Vegas is a big city, big population compared to here in Columbia, Missouri. I'm used to driving on really big highways, and most of the streets here are just 2-lane highways, 2-lane streets with a low speed limit of maybe 30 miles an hour. So that was a big change. And then there's also not many street lights. I'm used to a 24-hour town, so whenever I was needing a midnight snack or maybe a smoothie, I would just be able to go and get one. But here I have to wait till the next morning. If we get out of practice late, maybe at like 9 o'clock, everything's already closed except for like pizza or Mexican food. And the weather's a big change. So here in Missouri, you get all 4 seasons with fall and winter included, with a lot of snow, a lot of rain, and a lot of severe storms with tornadoes. Out in Vegas, it's pretty dry with a high heat of 110. And we also don't really get winter. It maybe snows once every 5 years. And it's also rains maybe 1 month out of the summer, but that's about it.
Do you miss the heat part?
No.
Okay,
I don't miss the heat at all. I love the snow. Paisley loves the snow. I enjoy seeing the leaves change colors and to actually bundle up and enjoy like a hot coffee, because I can't drink hot coffee at home. It's just too warm outside.
Has it been a transition for Paisley as well, I'm assuming?
Yes, I actually think she enjoys being here more than being at home, just because we're a lot more active. With it being so hot at home, we don't really go on that many walks. We'll just go swimming every day out in the pool in our backyard.
So she loves her walks here?
Yes, so we'll walk downtown every weekend. We walk around campus a lot, and we go outside and play fetch for about an hour every night after practice. But back home, we don't really do that because it's just too hot for her that she gets worn out really fast.
And she gets to travel with you guys too,
yes.
You mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so she went to Arkansas these past 2 weekends. It was a really long drive, 5 hours, but we stopped halfway through at a Love's gas station, and she got to pick out some snacks, walk around. Everyone loves to see her walk up and down the aisles. One time she got her own row to herself, so she got 2 seats on the bus. This past weekend, I had brought in the dog bed, so she got to lay on the floor and be comfy.
That's amazing.
But otherwise, she takes my seat most of the time.
That's amazing. And the fact that the team embraces her too.
Oh yes, everyone loves the puppy love.
That's incredible. Let's talk about volleyball, that transition from high school level here to the college level. Was it a big one for you, or are you still getting adapted? How did that go?
It was a pretty big change. So I only played high school 1 year, which was my sophomore year, and then I transferred to a dual credit school, which was online. So I only did club, which was practice about 3 to 4 nights a week, with weights once a week, and then we would do like a hill training sprint on Saturday. And then the weekends we were traveling, I was flying to Atlanta, Minnesota, California, Arizona. So it was just really all over the place every weekend, flying with my mom. And once I finished that in March, early April for my 18th season, I was off with volleyball for a bit, just working a lot and doing online school. So once I came here to Stevens and we did 3 days for preseason, that was exhausting. I was waking up at 6 a.m. to go to practice at 8, and then practice again at 1, and then practice again at 4. So it was really exhausting, but it kept me really busy, so I didn't miss home too much in those first 2 weeks of first being here my freshman year. But I want to say being adapted was pretty easy, because it was just a consistent schedule that all of us were starting out together with the team. It was new for all of us.
Those 2 weeks of preseason are usually the best ones for every single athlete. The conditioning,
yes,
the fitness that goes behind it.
Yeah, I'm super in shape. I'm eating a lot of food, but I'm burning a lot of calories, and I'm so tired by the end of the night that I just sleep for a solid 7 or 8 hours. So the next morning I'm ready to go. Maybe a little sore, but we're all through the pain together, so there's really no point in complaining, because someone's probably hurting more than me, but we get in really good shape. We bond. overall the conditioning, because we're all going through it together, and it's needed, I think, for everyone.
Yeah. I used to play college soccer, and those 2 weeks of preseason were absolutely the worst. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely terrible.
It's rough. You're just all in. Like, there's no school, and you're like the only ones on campus, so it's just sports. Like,
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
that's the
100%.
fun part, and the bonding part that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I like that part too.
you're not fighting for showers. You're not fighting in the dining hall, like, to get food if it runs out super fast, and there's no loud noises going on outside. So it's just solely athlete focused, which is really nice.
Let's talk about your role this year on the team compared to last season.
Yeah, so last year I was a freshman, and we had a big roster. There was 24 of us, and I was mainly just a serving specialist, so I'd only go in for 1 point and serve for one of our middles, and then once I was over, I'd be back on the bench. So last year I was a big cheering component. I'd run the cheers with Kylie Smetzer, and we'd just keep the bench as hype as possible while taking stats if we were told to take stats. This year, I have a pretty big role. I'm playing 3 rotations in the back row for our outside. So it was McKenna, but now it's Shala. And I think my biggest role is just being positive. So I keep everyone happy and smiling, because sometimes when things get rough or we're having a tough game, I just remind everyone to stay positive and have a joyful heart. And everyone, I think, really needs that, because some people can really get in their heads or get upset about how the game's going, or even just get upset with practice and conditioning, and I'm there cheering everyone through it, no matter if I'm in pain or not, we're struggling, and I think that just really uplifts the spirits of the team.
I feel like, to your point, you talked on it very well. Every team really needs that mentality aspect to keep that going, especially in tough games.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be positive and you have to be smiling, or otherwise your mind will take over, and then you'll start to make errors and get in your head a little too much.
Right.
So.
What has been for you, either last season or this one so far, the best memory? Either volleyball-wise or just Stevens College-wise in general?
I think my favorite memory is beating Columbia these past few weeks ago. That was just really exciting, and it was so, I don't know if euphoric is the right word, but like, everyone was locked in. McKenna got hurt, so we were in the locker room trying to discuss what was our next plan. Are we going to cancel the game and reschedule for another time, or are we going to finish this out for her? We decided to keep playing. Everyone was like unanimous. We wanted to keep playing, and we balled out. We beat Columbia for the first time in 38 years, and it was just so exciting. I remember Jatna Pena, our libero, the score had hit I think like 12-13, and we were 2 points away from winning, and she already started crying. Like, in that moment, she knew we were winning. She was so excited. Like, the emotions just overtook, and I just loved seeing how happy she was. I loved seeing Maggie being so excited on the sidelines for us, and everyone's emotions pouring out into that game.
I remember seeing a little bit of the posts afterwards on the celebrations on Instagram.
Yeah.
Everyone was going absolutely crazy, and rightfully so.
Yeah, and we had a super big crowd. The basketball and the softball team and some of the soccer girls had came out to watch us play, and so they were super loud, taking over the gym compared to the Columbia stands, and I think having that support behind us just really helped push us through.
So it didn't feel like an away game?
No, it didn't. We had a big crowd. I feel like the biggest crowd we've ever had, even considering home games. Like, everyone was involved, and everyone wanted us to win.
Right. What is something that you're looking forward to in the remainder of the season? And you can say beating Columbia again, because you guys are going to face them, I believe, 2 times?
Yep, so we're going to play Columbia again at the end of our regular conference season. We're going to play them again at Columbia in their quad, and then we will be playing Columbia again in the conference championships. But I'm looking forward to winning conference and going to nationals this year. That'd be a first for Stevens volleyball, and it'd be first for me. And I want to do it for my seniors. I think that they really need that, and it just fill them with joy and good memories leaving college volleyball.
Love to hear that. Yeah. Syerra, Paisley, thank you both so much. She's been having a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Great to be back with soccer head coach Don Trenum. Coach, you guys kicked off conference season this past weekend. Let's talk about that. It was 2 games for you guys, one Saturday, one Sunday, one in the AMC. The other one was a non-con, and we won 1-1 in the weekend. 1 victory and then 1 loss. Let's break those 2 games down.
Yeah, it was good. Good to start conference play. You know, it's a long trip down to Arkansas down there, so a long bus ride. But, I thought we came out against William Baptist and played well, especially in the first half. I thought a bit unlucky to be down 1-0 at halftime. Gave up a goal maybe a minute, 2 minutes before halftime there. They've got the nation's leading goal scorer, and she was able to get in and get a goal against us. But, give up a goal, still feeling pretty good about it. Second half, they definitely had some chances against us. I thought Petra had a lot of good saves in that to keep us at 1-0. And 6 minutes ago, we found a way to get a goal, and a nice cross from Mo into Easton, a nice volley, and 1-1. And we find ourselves with the chance to get a point, maybe even a win on the road there in the last 6 minutes. And their forward got in again on us with a couple minutes to go, and unfortunately left the field with a 2-1 loss. But overall, I thought we played well. Williams Baptist is a good team. They've got a special player who's in form at the moment, and for us, it was about moving on. And what was our response going to be the next day?
What was our response? Obviously, we got the victory in that second game, and kind of how pleased were you with the bounce back from the team?
Really pleased. I think, you lose a tough conference game on the road. You're not in your familiar at home place, and you got to go and battle against a team the next day after a tough loss. We challenged the players. I challenged the players, and they came out 3-0 win, 3 good goals, and solid performance from the backs. And again, Petra had some good saves in there as well. So anytime you go on the road and get 3-0 win, I think you're feeling pretty good. So it was great bounce back, and put us in a position to go into conference play, our next conference game this Saturday.
Was there any worry from either you or the players in that Sunday game that maybe the legs weren't going to be fresh enough?
I think so. I mean, the other team, when I scheduled it, they had a game the day before as well. So their legs were just like our legs on that Sunday. The only difference is they were at home, but we don't talk about it. We just we move on, and the players came out and had a good performance on that Sunday.
Is there any specific recovery that you guys did after that Saturday game to prepare for Sunday?
It's tougher on the road. You don't have your stuff that you have at home. I'm not going to sit here and say there's a ton of recovery, because we really didn't have time. I mean, we get finished at 2 o'clock on the Saturday, and then jump into Sunday. I think there was probably some ice baths that night, but not a ton of time, less than 24 hours to do a bunch there.
Let's talk about upcoming conference game, your first one at home against Central Baptist this Saturday at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
You're back home, you're not on the road. Besides just the victory, what else are you looking to see from your team in AMC play?
Well, this is the next one on the schedule for us this Saturday, and that's kind of the way we break it down. Is it's just the next game for us, and winning's hard, and we haven't won 2 games in a row this year, so that's a challenge for us to see if we can put 2 wins together. We're at home. We're feeling confident. We've had some good training sessions this week. But we got to go out and win the game on Saturday, and as our players and staff know, winning is hard.
You just mentioned good training sessions this week. It brought me back to your shutout donuts, because you had your second shutout this past weekend.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how you came up with that and kind of how you developed it now into Stevens.
I've done that for a long time now, the shutout donuts. It's more so I can get a donut in the morning,
Makes
to be
sense.
honest.
That's perfect.
But no, it's just something that hopefully we'll have more shutout donuts around here, and I think you'll have to ask Petra, but I think it was a nice surprise after a good training session to have a little donut, and they certainly put in the work. So they get the shutout, they had a good training session, so give them a little treat afterwards.
Well, going back to AMC play, let's look ahead on Monday. Columbia College is waiting for you guys just down the road, and you're very familiar with them. You were there last season. How excited are you to go back to your old stomping grounds?
Yeah, I mean, I played there. I was fortunate to win an AMC championship there as a player. Won one as a coach as well, or part of a staff that won one. And but it's not really about me. I think it's about our players. They've got some good players. I think we got a good team here, and it'll. I think you're a mile apart, less than a mile apart. So it's definitely a rivalry game, but it hasn't been much for them because we've never beat them. So we need to go out and compete and play hard. But right now, focused on Central Baptist College and then that'll be our next one after Central Baptist College.
Stevens volleyball already made history, beating them for the first time ever. Now it's all about soccer.
They did, and I'm glad you bring that up because Coach Maggie's done a great job this season with her team, and they've had a lot of success. And I know our players are excited about what they're doing with their program and some big wins that they had. So yeah, Maggie set the bar high. I know Coach Andre has beat them in basketball as well through the years. So we're the next one up.
Yeah.
So when that'll happen, we'll see. But yeah, it's exciting.
Perfect, Coach. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Petra Brncova joins us right now, goalkeeper for Stevens College and the soccer team. Petra, great to have you with us.
Thank you.
First season at Stevens, but let's go a couple years back. You're originally from Slovakia, and you started your NAI and just college career at UT Southern. Walk me through that process, being from Slovakia and getting recruited to a school in Tennessee.
Well, there's a lot of agencies back home that send players overseas. That's how I got here. It was actually from Czech Republic, agency from Czech Republic. Agent reached out to me and he asked me for my highlight video, what my high school grades are, and if I'm interested to play in the United States and continue my degree here. So, and I agreed, and then we talked about it. It was like a 2-year process of like
2 years, wow.
Yeah, like just looking at the schools, getting my film, getting my grades in.
Was there ever any hesitation on your part to not want to come to the U.S., or how early did you know that was the goal for you?
Maybe not the US, but I always wanted to play abroad. Like that was like my dream since I was a little kid. And there was hesitation, like probably a week before my flight, because the nerves kicked in. I was like, oh my gosh, can I do this? But other than that, no, I was committed to it.
Was the language barrier, to put it that way, ever any part of the hesitation? Were you ever worried about it?
Not really, because back home we learned English since like the first grade all the way to your senior year of high school. So English was no problem to me, like at all.
Well, let's talk about the transfer process from UT Southern to Stevens. You spent 2 years at UT Southern, and then now this is your first year in your junior campaign at Stevens College. How did that go about? Did you reach out to Stevens first? Did they reach out to you? How was that?
So again, I was working with my agent. I reached out to my agent first that I just wanted a fresh start. I felt like I need a change after 2 years of spending there, and I reached out to my agent like I want to transfer. I want to look to other schools, new team, new environment, and then I basically did the same thing as my process of getting to the States. So getting my transcripts and getting my highlight video to him, and then he was reaching out to coaches and then sending me offers, and then we like discussed it together.
That's awesome. So you were able to work with your agent on both times, not just the first one. That's really good. What was it about Columbia and Stevens that kind of drew you to know that this was the right fit?
Well, back in UT Southern it was a small town, and I wanted something bigger because I'm from a big town back home and just needed a change. And I like Columbia, and also I had multiple video calls with Coach Don or Coach Blitz, and just the energy they gave me and like the positivity and the goals and the work they want to have with us. That's what my decision was. Yeah.
Did it take much time? Let's say we're in preseason right now, for example, the first 2 weeks. Did it take much time for you to get adapted to the team?
In the beginning, yeah, it took me like a week or two to like get, new faces, new team, new names, new environment, completely new state. Never been to Missouri before, but it was not hard. The team is great, the coaches are great, the people in the school are awesome. So it wasn't hard to me, but it took some time, yeah.
Especially as a goalkeeper, I assume, because I feel like everyone should know everyone's name, obviously, but as a goalkeeper, you got to know them in the back of your head at that point. That makes it a little bit more difficult, but you've handled the challenge very well. On that regard, about goalkeeping, you've made some incredible saves this season. What does that say about you as a player and about your team, your back line as well?
Well, how I look at the games, yes, I make good save, but we work as a team. It's a team sport, so the results we got, it was not just because of me. It was just because of our all, like even defense, midfield, and our attackers. Like we all defend together, we all attack together. So that's teamwork all there.
What, talking about the off season now, looking ahead after AMC play, after regular season for you is done, what will that look like? Are you going back to Slovakia? Or
I'm going back over the winter break.
How long is that flight?
Oof, it's roughly 20 hours with like with layovers. Yeah.
So where are your layovers usually at?
It's usually New York or Washington or Philadelphia because they have a good connection to St. Louis airport.
So St. Louis to either one of those, and then from there straight shot to Slovakia. Wow. And how far is that straight shot? How much time?
I think the flight across the ocean is like 10 hours, 9 hours. It depends how the wind is, what kind of plane it is. It really depends, but it's roughly 9 hours.
Do you get used to that at all?
I mean, I try my best, but it's okay. I mean, you get food on the plane, you can sleep, and yeah.
Okay. I cannot imagine doing a 10 to 20 hours total flight, so props off to you.
Thank you.
Looking a little bit to next year, once you graduate, what are your post-graduation plans? Are you going back home, or are you planning to stay in the U.S.?
I'm leaving my doors open for now. I would love to stay in the US and get my master's, maybe become a coach. That would be a good job for me, and I would like it. Maybe athletic trainer. I just want to be staying around sports and be involved with soccer.
Perfect. Petra, thank you so much.
Thank
we wish
you.
you all the best going forward
Thank
this
you.
season and your rest of your career.
Thank you.